In this world, there's hard work and there's smart work. Everything I'm going to teach you is about doing things the most effective and efficient way. This is why we're going to be sourcing products in an organized manner that saves time and brings better results. A niche brand has an overall theme that all of its products are aligned by, and then within that theme, categories of products. For example, if your business is going to be an outerwear business like the North Face, then the categories within the outerwear niche could be hats, winter jackets, winter pants, gloves, etc. You get the point. On a clothing store, common categories are going to be tops, bottoms, and accessories. This is something that you want to do the thinking on before you even start sourcing, so you're not just adding random products and browsing AliExpress aimlessly. For the purpose of this lesson, I'm going to walk through sourcing as if you and I are making a streetwear brand, meaning urban clothing. I've already gone ahead and thought about the categories that we're going to need for an urban clothing dropshipping branded niche approach. I came up with outerwear, tops, bottoms, and footwear. I'm also going to add in subcategories within each category. You notice that this is something big brands do as well. Why is this important? So customers can actually find the products they're looking for, and it's going to be a very intuitive and easy to navigate website experience. Under outerwear, I'm going to put in jackets, denim, and hoodies. Under tops, we're going to have short sleeves and long sleeves. Under bottoms, we're going to have joggers and jeans. And finally, under footwear, we're going to have both sneakers and slides. Now, if you're following along in this lesson and you've already come up with your own niche, I want you to now take some time, browse AliExpress, and come up with the categories that you're going to need to source. Now, let's just say you're not the most creative person in the world. If you need some inspiration on which categories you need to come up with, just check out a major brand that's in your niche. This should be a common theme. Whenever we're confused, we look to a major brand. If you're making a hiking store, take a look at the categories offered by brands like Patagonia, Mammoth, and Mountain Hardwear. If you're making an athleisure store, take a look at brands like Gymshark and Lululemon. Anyways, you get the point. We're trying to achieve a branded feel from a dropshipping business model. All right, so now let's actually start sourcing. I'm gonna walk through the criteria that makes a good AliExpress product and a bad one, and also show you some tricks that I still use every single day as I browse AliExpress. We've already decided the categories for our streetwear store, and you wanna have this in mind once you actually start sourcing, because we wanna be purposeful with our time. We've decided that there's gonna be outerwear, tops, bottoms, and footwear, and I've already done this research by myself, right? Under outerwear, there's gonna be jackets, denim, and hoodies. Under tops, there's gonna be short sleeves and long sleeves. Under bottoms, joggers and jeans. And then finally, under footwear, sneakers and slides. And if you're ever confused about how to come up with these categories, just look at some big brands or established brands in your particular niche. And these are the products that I'm actually gonna be looking for. So we're on AliExpress right now, and I'm gonna be looking for some jackets, right? And in particular, streetwear jackets. So first, let's start broad. I'm just gonna look up jackets. And we can see right here, there's a lot of different jackets. There's men's, there's women's, all of this stuff. I'm only gonna be focused on male streetwear, right? With the triple segmentation method, I went from apparel to streetwear to men. Or you go from apparel to men to streetwear. No matter how you wanna do it, it followed that segmentation. It's not too broad and it's not too narrow. When we look at jackets, we're getting way too many random jackets, and there are some street styles on here, but let's actually get a little bit more granular. And AliExpress is so comprehensive that this usually ends up working. I typed in streetwear jacket and bam, these are exactly the urban styles that I'm looking for my store. So what makes a product good or bad, and how do I go about sourcing? The first thing I always do is sort by orders. And what this does is it kind of gives you insight into which products have had the most volume purchased, which usually means which products are dropshippers pushing a lot of, right? And when you sort by order volume, you kind of get an insight of what's selling in the world of dropshipping. Now, This doesn't mean that these are exactly the products that you should add to your store. It just means that they've had a lot of traction, which does come with a lot of benefits, right? You know, the style is kind of in fashion because it's already sold to a lot of people. And you also know that whoever the supplier is has had a pretty strong history of working with a lot of dropshippers, right? So let's continue. Now we filter by order. So we're going to take a look at some of the best products, and afterwards we're going to look at best match in order to see if maybe we miss some products that just aren't being sold but still fit our criteria. The first criteria that you have to look out for is ePacket, and that's what this green outline is. If you're not seeing this green outline in your AliExpress, it means you didn't install the Oberlo Chrome extension. ePacket is essential in the beginning when you first start off dropshipping. And what ePacket means is it's basically a trade agreement that made sure that trade was facilitated a lot easier. What this means is if it's on ePacket, that if you're selling to American customers, it's going to turn to USPS tracking the moment it hits the United States. Furthermore, ePacket means that shipping is going to be cheap and also semi-reliable. It's not the best shipping method out there, but it's the best method to start off with because shipping is pretty reliable. It's a little slow, at least there's tracking, and also it's going to be very, very cheap, so it doesn't factor in to your costs too much. And we can see everything here is ePacket except for this one, so I'm not going to be sourcing this particular product. But we're going to click onto the product page level. Once you get into the product page level, the first thing to look for is creative assets or visual assets, right? And keep in mind, you didn't take the photographs for this product, right? This product was given to you by the AliExpress agent, so we got to see if there's enough photos in here to work with as we think about ads and also product collection photos. Usually if there's enough photos to fill a store and a product page and a collection, then there's also enough photos for making some really powerful advertisements later on. So I'm going to scroll down and you can see all the details of products that the supplier has provided us. We also want to make sure that sizing here is pretty comprehensive, so they do offer a lot of sizing. Everything is on a black background. That's not a deal breaker. I'm going to teach you in a later lesson how to clean up backgrounds, but let's just take a look at the different angles that this product has, and I would say it's pretty strong. This supplier has taken the time and the effort to put in some detailed shots that are very, very up close and kind of communicate that this product is pretty high quality. And this is a very professional shoot. This is what big brands are doing with their products. So in terms of visual assets, this checks the box. So what is like an example of a product that doesn't have a lot of very good visual assets is if you come onto this product page and you basically see like 1 or 2 images and you know it's just not enough to work with to engage customers. In terms of visual assets on this product, it passes the bar. So the next thing I'm taking a look at is customer reviews. And one of the biggest questions that you may be wondering is, Kevin, how do I know about product quality if I don't even see the products or have the products in my hand? And this is the best way to gauge for product quality in the beginning is you want to click on customer reviews and then filter by photos. We don't care about text reviews, right? We don't know how authentic they are. We want to see photo reviews, which is basically photos that customers have taken of them wearing the product. And what we're really looking for is the photos we see over here kind of matches the visual assets that were provided at the product page level, because you want to avoid a situation where if a customer orders this product from your store that they receive something completely different and they feel like they've been tricked or they've been scammed. That is not a good way to run your business. So let's take a look at the photos that customers have provided. We can see this one. Okay, so it is reflective. It seems like it has some glow in the dark qualities. It's unisex. A girl is wearing it. This is what it looked like when it came in. And some products will have a lot of photo reviews and some will not. But a lot of them are taking pictures in the dark to really show this reflective quality. So let's take a look at more. And I would say, based on the pictures that I've seen so far, I would say that they are pretty indicative of the product we also see in the visual assets that the supplier has provided us. So it's past that test as well. The final test that you're going to want to give this product is going to be if the price of the product makes sense. And how do we do that? I'm going to discuss extensive pricing strategies later on in this course, but for now, we're gonna apply a golden ratio that I'm giving to you, which is 2.5 times the AliExpress product cost plus the cost of shipping, and that's going to be the price that we're going to sell our products at. And what that does is it ensures that we get a 60% gross margin, meaning that if we generate $100 in sales from this product, we're going to take home $60 just by selling that product, not factoring in any costs. And I'm going to talk about gross margin later on in the course as well, but just know that's the metric I recommend you using when you first start sorting out. So what we do is we just bust out the calculator. And every computer has one of these things. And we take a look, right? This is 948 to 1061 depending on the size. So obviously 4XL is going to be more expensive than the small option. And that's how they're kind of doing the pricing here. So we're going to take 10.61. Let's go with the most conservative route, right? We're going to assume everything is going to be 10.61. And what is shipping cost to United States via e-packet? This is the standard that we're going to go with. And here we can see that shipping is going to be $8. So taking 10.61 and adding that shipping cost, because shipping is a very real cost as a part of your product cost, we get a total product cost of $18.64. This means that we are paying this AliExpress agent $18.64 every time we sell one of these jackets. And what price do we want to charge it at? Multiply by 2.5. That's going to be $46.60. Now we can turn this into $49.99, etc. But basically it's around $46. Is it reasonable to pay for a jacket like this? That's $46. And keep in mind, we can put in a sale, we can do compare ads, but let's just assume we're selling this at $46. You're going to want to do kind of what I call an insanity test at this point, which is basically you want to compare the price of this jacket, $46, to some main brands, some other streetwear brands that maybe are also selling jackets, and think, is this really in line? Is this reasonable? Obviously, you can't sell a product that's grossly overpriced compared to main brands, or else why would they buy from a brand they've never heard of, right? If you're selling baseball caps at $50 and a business like Lids, right, or Adidas or Nike is selling their baseball caps at $20, you're just not going to win unless your baseball cap is curing cancer or doing something super, super crazy. So $46.60, let's just say we're going to call it at $47. I would say that's a very reasonable price to pay for this type of windbreaker jacket. So that's past the metric. The last thing that you want to really worry about is basically, is this product copyrighted? And based on the looks of this, it doesn't seem like it's ripping off any main brands. Anything that has a logo of a main brand on it, you know, anything that has like a celebrity, an actor, an actress on it, anything that you just have even a doubt that, hey, this is probably not kosher, do not do that. I'm going to talk about why copyright violations are terrible. Long story short, Facebook is going to ban your personal Facebook account if you push counterfeit products, and also you might find yourself in a lawsuit. I had a friend that was selling tapestries from AliExpress, and these tapestries featured a Ford truck, right? And Ford obviously didn't license him to sell any tapestries that had Ford automobiles, and he sold a total of only 3 of these tapestries, and these were cheap items, like $6 on AliExpress. And guess what? He got sued for $15,000 from Ford and ended up paying that lawsuit in order for a settlement, because he doesn't have the firepower and you don't, to go up against a big brand. So don't sell anything out there that has like a car logo on it or a celebrity on it that you know odds are this Chinese factory didn't get the rights to produce that item. So once everything has checked the metrics, right? It's got the good photo reviews, it's got the good photo assets, it's reasonably priced. What we can do is we can add it to our store. So all you do is press this big blue button over here, and once you have Oberlo installed, you should be able to do that. And the product has been imported successfully, and you can open your import list now on Oberlo, and you can see it's a clean import list. It's the first product I've imported. I'm going to walk you through how to actually send it to your store in a later lesson, but for now, you just have to kind of queue it up here in the import list. So we found a jacket, right? And this is a little hack I'm going to give you with sourcing is, once you find one supplier that's given you one good product, odds are they're going to be able to give you other products as well. So we're going to go into the supplier page, and you can find it right over here. Every single product page is going to have it, and this is the actual agent in AliExpress that's providing these products, meaning they're buying it from the factories and then selling it to drop shippers. And usually when a supplier has one good product, they have more similar products, and you can trust that the quality is going to be semi-consistent here, right? Because it's one individual or one facility that's processing all of this. So even if a product like this one has way lower quantity sold and way less photo reviews, right? This only has 20 total customer reviews and 6 photo reviews compared to the other one, which had hundreds. You are still safe to source this product because we've already determined that one of this supplier's products is pretty good. And this really allows you to cut some corners in sourcing, because now we don't have to go searching for these things. Anything you see that this guy is selling, you can sort of add, and you can see how this is kind of a collection. These products come with joggers as well, and we also had joggers as a part of our category. So I'm going to go through the sourcing approach again for bring this back. Let's go take a look at some of the short sleeve tops. That is going to be streetwear short sleeve tops, right? So let's go to streetwear, short sleeve tops. So short sleeve. And you kind of just have to play with what you're searching for. It's just like using Google. Try a lot of different searches until you really see the products that you want. So I'm going to add in men here because we are only looking for men. So we can kind of see, okay, some of these can be considered street. I really like this one. So let's take a look at the metrics for this product. It's kind of Japanese inspired, very urban, looks very, very cool in my opinion. We scroll down and yup, very cool model pictures, good visual assets, right? Really, really in-depth, high quality images up close of this product, and perfect. This was also on ePacket. And let's take a look at the customer reviews. Looking at the photo reviews. Okay, yup, I would say that based on what this person is wearing, that it looks exactly like the product that's portrayed in the images, so it passes that test as well. And now we're gonna do the insanity test with pricing. You can see here that this one is free shipping. The other one was $8, right? So that's something you have to pay attention to. Shipping cost is something that creeps on to drop shippers because they just assume ePacket is free or $1, but sometimes suppliers get a little tricky and they'll inflate the shipping costs, and your VAs or you that's fulfilling the order, you have no idea that you're actually paying an extra $8 for shipping like it was in the last product. This makes it easy because it's free, and I'm going to pull up the calculator again to do an insanity test. So we have $11.27 free shipping, so we're going to multiply this by 2.5, and bam, that's $28, right? $28 for a top like this one, short sleeve top. I would say super reasonable. Designer brands charge way more, and even a place like Zara, I would say this thing is probably around $30 there as well. So no worries, it is perfectly fine. The one issue here is there's not much sizing options, so that could be a potential concern. And you can see how it says Asian sizing, which usually means that it's smaller than American sizing. For a product like this one, people are probably going for more of an oversized fit. So I'm willing to kind of neglect the fact that it doesn't have that many sizing options. But yeah, if it's only, for example, you see a shirt and there's really like only one size there, obviously it's probably not the best product to source, right? Like if it's only an extra small Asian size, you shouldn't add it onto your store because you're just not going to have that much selection available for your customers. But this one passes the metric for me. I'm going to add it here. And now you can see even recommended products on the side here in AliExpress, which makes sourcing even easier. This is another short top. I'm gonna look down. Great visual assets, right? Stuff that we can work with at the catalog level. And all you have to do when you're looking at visual assets is kind of visualize at the product page level on Shopify. If these are the images I show the customer, are you gonna feel engaged? Do they wanna buy this product? And I would say, yeah, this is just like a big brand's photo shoot. This one doesn't have any photo reviews, so this is a risky situation. I always recommend focusing on sales in the beginning and then monitoring for product quality and then removing bad products as they come. So I like to be a little on the riskier side in terms of just trying to prioritize more breadth of catalog and getting more sales. But that's sort of something for you to do the risk cost benefit on. I'm gonna go ahead and source this product as well. Free shipping, $14. 14 times 2.5, perfectly in line with what we're looking at. and this doesn't look like it's copyrighted as well. So I'm just gonna basically move down the list of all of this stuff and keep sourcing and sourcing and sourcing, right? The big thing here is how many products should you actually add per subcategory, and this is my golden rule. You want to add as many products as possible that fits the metrics I just described to you, but at the very least, you need to add at least 20 per subcategory just to give consumers a little bit of breadth and selection and variety. Obviously, if a consumer comes onto your site and they can't really find products that they're interested in, you're just not gonna get sales, right? So usually for brand and niche dropshipping stores, on the low end, I have around 100 products. On the high end, I have sometimes close to 200, 300 products. One big female store that I've been working on for a while has as much as 800 products. Now that's a little insane, but in general, you want at least 20 products in each subcategory, and I would shoot for honestly close to 100, especially if it's apparel, and you know selection is a very, very big factor to this all. And because we decided that this supplier was a good one, we can go and take a look at some of the things that he's also offering. And wow, right? A lot of streetwear stuff. We could even add accessories like backpacks. I didn't include that in the category before, but we could add that in. And very, very cool things. And again, we're free to source all these other things, even though this one has no reviews, because if we're trusting the supplier for one product, logically we can trust them for multiple products, because again, it's the same agent that's going to be working with us. So now you know the metrics that determine what's a good product, what's a bad product. I want you to start queuing up these products into your Oberlo import list, and we're going to talk about how you actually add them in to your actual Shopify. But this is enough information for you to go out there and start sourcing a full collection of your products. And remember, be purposeful, make that chart that I laid out with the subcategories in there. And when you're looking at products, you want to first filter by order number, but don't only depend on order number. These are just the lowest hanging fruits. You want to make sure products have good visual assets that you can work with at a collection level, and also for advertising later on. You want to make sure products photo reviews kind of match what the visual assets are communicating about the product. You want to make sure the product passes the pricing test, and don't forget to factor in shipping costs. And then finally, you want to make sure that the product is not copyrighted. That was a lot of content. So if you need to rewind, make sure you do. Now that you know how to source products and which products to source from AliExpress, you may be wondering, how many products should I have? I recommend having at least 20 products per subcategory, and honestly, I would source as many products as possible that are not redundant and fit into the criteria that we talked about. You obviously want to source the same jacket that just has one variation because one has a zipper and the other doesn't have a zipper, but you also want to be very comprehensive and give yourself as many chances as possible. Just to give you some insight, my brand and niche stores usually start out with anywhere between 100 on the lower end and 200 products at the higher end. I even have a store in the process that's 800 products. So let's keep adding more and more products in Oberlo, and in the next lesson, we will talk about importing these products to your actual Shopify store. So your homework assignment before the next lesson is to import a full catalog of products for your niche based on the categorical approach I just taught you.